to the field. Agronomy Alert this week, August 11th. We're kind of in between things now, not seeing a lot of insect activity in the field, which is obviously a good thing, and the weekend rains, so soil moisture is good for the most part in a lot of places. So kind of give an overview of the last week or two. Insect wise, obviously our western bean flights are pretty much done. We haven't seen a fresh egg mass in quite a while. We are starting to see some larvae in ear tips. Most of those are either western bean, obviously, or corn earworm. We've recently seen quite a few corn earworm, which those are almost impossible to scout for, because those eggs usually are laid on top of the silks and then easily get into that ear before you can really identify them. One of the key characteristics of identifying if they're a western bean or corn earworm is cannibalistic, so you'll only see one larvae per ear all the time with corn earworm, where western bean you might have 2 or 3. And western bean usually those are the ones that will come in the side of the ear. Corn earworm always feeds usually in the tip. So two characteristics that kind of set those two apart. It's really hard to identify larvae when they're young. There are some differences in the color of the head of the larvae, but pretty darn hard to tell. So the other thing we wanted to talk about this week was really with all the pollination talk and tassel wrap, is just the genotype by environment interaction. So a lot of times we'll blame stuff on the environment, which environment does always have a role. But there's always that genetic interaction or genotype interaction that we kind of sometimes forget about. So when you hear the genotype by environment, that's simply how does that genotype or how does that hybrid react to the environment that year. So we put a lot of blame on the environment, but also, the genetics in that hybrid play a role in that. So really, truly, the only environmental 100% thing that we have out here is obviously hail, right? So genotype has no interaction with a hail event. However, it could, how it responds to that hail event. Still a little bit of that genotype by environment interaction. So when we think about pollination, weather events, the environment that year, what we're seeing, we always got to keep that into mind or keep that in the back of our mind, that those genetics, those genotypes, those hybrids do play a role in how it reacts. So with that, we'll hope for a good week weather-wise, and we'll talk to you next week. Thank you.